How does Daggerheart teach roleplay, and how can we take those ideas and apply them to other games that you may be playing? One of the best ways to have better roleplay is by understanding your character. And one of the better ways to understand your character is to ask questions about them. How they relate to the world, the campaign, or even really basic ones like what's their favorite color. To understand them to a degree where playing the character almost becomes second nature. Daggerheart does exactly this. During character creation, when you choose your class, you will see a small box with a series of questions. Some relating to the background of your character and others relating to connections. Connections meaning to the campaign or the party. Now, these are not hard and fast questions. You can answer any number of them or make your own that better fit your character, as well as better fit the table and campaign. Now, you may be sitting there and asking, isn't this just writing out a backstory? Yeah, pretty much. But it's doing so in a way that feels less like writing down plot hooks as well as a list of NPCs for the GM to have fun with, and it's doing it in a way of forcing you to answer questions and approach the backstory process in a way that you probably normally wouldn't. It feels like you're creating the backstory by working backwards to a certain degree. Now, it should also be noted that D&D does in fact have a bonds and flaws system, something very similar to Daggerheart, and in many ways that also helped people understand their character a bit more. However, here, by answering questions directly rather than saying what's your ideal bond and flaw, it feels a bit more personable, even though on paper they are achieving the same things. It should also be noted that Daggerheart's primary structure can be described as a conversation, where the GM sets something up and the players build upon that in different ways. In other words, yes and is a core element of this game, which is another key aspect to roleplay in general. But Daggerheart makes it clear that that is not the core solution for good roleplay. In order for you to have solid yes and, you have to understand your character. That way you can potentially avoid stealing the spotlight or introducing something into the world that just doesn't make sense. In reality, what Daggerheart is doing here is really not new. People have been doing character backstories and roleplay this way for years. However, by having it written down in this manner, it can certainly help those who may be new to TTRPGs, or maybe those who tend to go strictly by the book, and as a result have struggled to really get into the mindset of their character and understand them on a deeper level other than what's on the page. It's a way for roleplay to feel less intimidating and more welcoming. A way to teach you that the easiest way to roleplay is by understanding your character and not necessarily strictly yes and. The idea being building off of what someone has established. However, by combining those elements, because you know your character and by extension everyone else at the table, you'll be able to dig into your character more and have a greater experience at the table roleplaying with your friends. All of that stemmed from just asking a simple series of questions. And that'll do it for this video, folks. Let me know your roleplay tips down below, and I'll catch you all next time.